Good morning, fourth grade. I hope that you are having a great second day back at school. I hope you enjoyed our book yesterday, and we are going to continue with nonfiction today. And today's book is actually called Giant Squid. My kids last year loved this book. It is a nonfiction book, so we're going to talk about like some text features that we noticed in there, maybe why the illustrations are important throughout this book. I think we're going to see some diagrams. So when we see those diagrams, I want you thinking like, why is that diagram important? What does it help me understand better about this text? I want us thinking about the author's message, like, why did he write this book? What is the big idea that he wanted me to learn? I also want you thinking about his purpose. Like, why did he write this book? Like, was he trying to entertain me? Was he trying to inform me about something, teach me about something? So I want you thinking about that also. But then the most important thing is like the structure of this book, like the way that the author set this book up so that I could better understand it. So as we read through those things, I want you thinking about those nonfiction skills that help us better understand the book. It's a really big book too. Down, down in the depths of the sunless sea, deep, deep in the cold, cold dark, creatures strange and fearsome lurk. Why do you think it's dark like that? Why do you think it's, we can barely see them? Why do you think the author did that? Yeah, I think he wanted us to see that this is a dark place that the squids live. And so this illustration really helps me understand how dark it is where they live. With writhing arms and ghostly lidless eyes they glide, some large as buses, some weighing a ton, so big yet rarely seen. Instead, they are merely glimpsed now and then from the prow of a ship from a rocky seashore, through the lens of an underwater camera. Who are these giants of the dark seas? How do they hunt? How do they eat? How do they breathe? It is a mystery. Do you notice this is kind of set up like a poem? It's got like a poetic effect to it. After all, how can you know about an animal hidden from view? You must rely on clues, as scientists do. Clues left behind by the creatures themselves. A tentacle, an eye, pieces found around the world, found over centuries by whalers and sailors and people walking the beach. You examine each piece, questioning and guessing, wondering the weirdness of these baffling beast we call. What can I infer about the squid so far? I can infer that they are very unique animals and they're very hard to find animals. Probably pretty hard to research because it says they have to find different pieces to research them. It says, what words let me know why it's difficult to learn about squid? So I can infer that they're difficult to learn about, but what text evidence proves that? Something like it's hidden from view. It says they must rely on clues, so that lets me know that it's difficult to learn about them. So the author just now gave us the title page. Why do you think he gave us those few pages before the actual title page? Why did he do that? Yeah, I think he was really trying to catch our attention and he wanted us to like really get excited about the book. That was a good introduction. Here are its tentacles, 2, curling and twisting 30 feet long, waiting for a passing fish, another squid, anything swimming by. The tentacles seize their prey. They surround their thrashing meal. They latch on with powerful sucker-studded clubs. Row after row of suckers ringed with saw-like teeth that rip into skin and hold on tight. 8 coiling arms join in, pushing the prey to its beak. The beak, bone hard and parrot-like. It sits in the center of those 8 slithering arms, protruding from the creature's mouth, rotating from side to side, ripping apart prey. It's kind of intense how it tells us that. And what lies behind the beak? a dark hole, the mouth. And inside the mouth, a terrifying tongue like ribbon of muscle covered with sharp, tiny blades that slice, grind, file the food into a pasty sludge easy for giant squid to digest. It says this kind of a poem appeals to the reader's senses. Okay, it appeals to my senses like my touch, my taste, my feels. It says, how does he describe the beak and tongue? The way that he describes it, how does it help you visualize it? Yeah, like I said a while ago, those words were so intense and kind of scary, but they really helped me visualize this like creepy tongue and beak coming down on something. In the murk, an eye, round, unblinking, some big as soccer balls, the biggest eyes on the planet. Why? So it can spy pinpoints of light in its pitch black world. Glints, flickers, set off by tiny creatures, jellyfish and krill, disturbed by a diving sperm whale. Their flashes create a shimmering outline, faint, so faint. It says murk, in the murk. What do you think murk might mean? So in the murk, it's going to be like the dirty water. It's not clear water, sometimes kind of muddy. I like how they really zoned in on its eye right there. But not too faint for the big eye squid. The outline is a warning. Time to flee. Sucking water into its body and squirting it out. The creature jets away. As we read and see more and more of the squid, why do you think it did that? So as we read, we're starting to see more and more pieces of the squid. Like it was in total darkness, and now it's starting to like come to light. So as he's reading each part to us, that part is coming to light. That was a good idea. Danger past, alone once more in the murky depths. The creature floats, rising and falling at will. The squid is pinkish, purple now. But any second it could change color. Maybe pale yellow, maybe silvery gray, maybe red with brown stripes, or orange with black dots. Which colors? Which patterns? It's another mystery. And why do they change? Maybe to impress a mate. Where does the female squid lay her eggs? How long does it take them to hatch? More unanswered questions. Still more mystery. Yet one day, a baby giant squid hatches from its egg. Teensy tiny, just 2 inches long, in the ocean. It is dangerous to be bite-sized. Watch out for that barracuda! Quick! What does the author mean by it is dangerous to be bite-sized? What does he mean by that? Yeah, because if we can see the difference in the size, they're going to be eaten in one bite by a big old barracuda. Eek! Whoa, can you see that? Why do you think the author made the pages fold out so big like that? Why do you think he did that? Yeah, I think it's because he wanted me to actually see like how big it is. Like, I don't know that that's exactly how big it is, but it gives me an idea. Like, the author didn't put it just on one page, but he put it on several so that we could see and understand the size better. It says its eyes were big as a soccer ball. Why do you think the author put that? His eyes were as big as a soccer ball. Yeah, so that we can understand, like, he's got a little body, but his eyes are like huge. It's gone. All right, so here at the end of the book, the author includes this diagram. And he's labeled what the arms are and what they do, and the beak and the fins and the funnel and the eyes and the tentacles. Why do you think he included this diagram with all of these labels on here? Like, why would that be important for him to put that in this nonfiction book? And as a reader, how does that help me understand the text better? Well, I think he put the diagram on there so that I could better understand like what the tentacles are doing or what the eyes are doing and their purposes. because we know that even scientists don't see squid very much, and it's a mystery for them to research them. So why would I, as a kid or a reader, know a lot of information? So that text feature there is very important because it tells me the important parts of the squid there. So let's talk about the author's purpose. Why do you think the author wrote this book? I think he wrote this book because he wanted to inform me about giant squid, maybe teach me about giant squid. I think that the author's message, so remember the message is like the big idea. Like, what did he want me to take away from this book? So I can't learn a message, like I can't learn a lesson from a squid, but I can think about the big idea when it's nonfiction. And I think the big idea of this book is that it is hard for scientists to study giant squid in their natural habitat. So they have to learn a lot about them. So I think the big idea is that squid are really hard to learn about. And there was lots of text from the book to prove that. Like, it was dark, they had to use clues, it said lots of times there was a mystery. And so those clues from the text helped me know that that could be true. Also, I want you to think about the structure of this book and how he took it like piece for piece. And the way he set that up is like each page talked about a different part of the squid and what it did. So I like the way he set that up, and it made it a little easier to understand the parts of the squid.